I'm here with Dougie Doug and Clayton Allis, the co-directors of In the Weeds. How does it feel to be here in Harlem, guys?
Feels great.
Wonderful. We love it here. Our favorite place, actually.
Exactly.
Tell me a bit about the film.
Well, the film is called In the Weeds. It's a film that was shot during the height of the pandemic, and it focuses on a father that's looking for his daughter and a daughter who's looking for love. And he's trying to track her down, doesn't know where she is, and we find out through the course of the film why.
Where she's at. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And what was the inspiration for the film?
COVID was sort of the inspiration in that Doug and I were stuck in our houses and bored out of our minds and talking to each other, and we thought, well, maybe we could make a movie somehow, and what should we make it about? And we went through millions of different permutations, and somehow this movie came out of it.
And tell us about who stars in the film and what part you play.
I play a character named Larry, who is a pretty disturbed gentleman. And he's disturbed about a lot of things, but he's really disturbed about his inability to connect with his daughter.
Can you guys tell me a little bit about your relationship working together as co-directors and how you work together?
Doug and I have been friends for quite a number of years. We actually met because our children went to the same first grade. And so, and then we discovered I knew he was in film and he discovered I was in film. And so we've made other things, some short films together. I mean, it's a great relationship, actually. I would say one of the best collaborative relationships I've ever had. We're alike enough and different enough that we agree on what's good, and we're different enough that we have different ways of getting to it.
Yes,
So,
I agree 100%.
So was he kind of directing you and monitoring your performance while you were on screen?
Somewhat, yeah. I mean, when he noticed things that I could do differently, he would mention that.
I would say overall for the film that, Doug is a great actor, and he's frankly more attuned to acting than I am. So I think it was more like Doug was monitoring himself and the other actors. Occasionally I had something to say about it, but I think, Doug was pretty on top of the acting side of it. Yeah.
So did you guys film during COVID?
We did.
So how was that? Like, what were the challenges of doing that?
It's pretty interesting. In some ways, we couldn't have made this movie if it wasn't for COVID, because it was a very, very small crew, and we didn't have a lot of money. I think that's safe to say. But what COVID gave us, the famous formula is time equals money. So we didn't have money, but we had a lot of time. And I think that's why the film turned out as good as it did. We shot it over a year, so we would shoot for a weekend. We would edit the scene and look at it, talk about it, shoot. And we had a lot of talent because there were a lot of people who weren't working and were looking to do stuff. So in some ways, because of COVID, we were able to make the film.
That's true.
Were you guys ever worried about, being shot at that time, that maybe you're seeing people in masks and it might date the film and lock it into that time period?
Yeah, I was concerned about that, but every now and then I walk around and see a person with a mask and I go, okay, well this, and we use it sparingly. It's not like everybody has a mask. So yeah, I'm not concerned about it.
And from my perspective, I don't mind it. Personally, I'm okay with it being sort of placed in the time that it's placed, because it's a movie about that time, you know. So I'm fine with it being, if someone looks at it and goes, oh my God, that's like, 2021, fine, that's what the movie is,
Yes.
How do you feel audiences will react, and kind of what impact do you want the film to have?
I hope people will be entertained, because there is a lot of comedy in the movie, and I hope that they walk away being moved by its, if I could say, message, moved as well.
Without giving anything away, I guess you could probably guess if it's about COVID in 2021, there are some dark themes there. But I think the movie is hopeful, and I think that people will walk away hopeful, and maybe even if we're really lucky, maybe even with an idea of how to heal themselves and sort of move forward with some of the issues they're dealing with. I mean, that's asking a lot from a little movie, but that was kind of where we were going with it.